Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for our first Fireside Chat, which will be hosted by Monica, our amazing executive director. And we have our guest, Alia El-Sawi, from Victim Assistance Specialist with the Department of Homeland Security. I will just be giving a couple of quick, housekeeping agenda items before I pass it to Monica and Alia. This Fireside Chat is recorded and it will be available on our website for you to watch later on or share with your networks. We do have live captioning today. If you want to access that, you can click the little ... the little ellipses at the bottom of your Zoom screen, and it should show when you choose show subtitle. That should show up, and you can change the settings and the appearance. If you have any questions related to that, you can always send a message to myself or Brittany Asher, who is also here with us today, providing some logistical support for the webinar today. Throughout the conversation, please feel free to share in the chat any reflections or thoughts or resources you might have related to the subject. Just keep in mind it is a public chat box, so don't put any confidential information about particular cases or survivors in there. We do have some time for questions and answers from the group at the end of the conversation today, and we'll do our best to address those. If you have a question, please put that in the question and answer little box so we can keep those organized, and we'll do our best to address them at the end. It is a 1-hour session, so we'll see how far we get into the questions and answers. If you do have any questions about tech or backend or anything like that, either send a message to myself or Brittany. We'll be here throughout the webinar off camera. And with that, I will pass it on to Monica to get us started.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all so much for being with us today. My name is Monica Kant, and I'm the Executive Director of the Asian Pacific Institute on Gender-Based Violence. At API-GBV, our mission is to disrupt gender-based violence, which causes physical, sexual, emotional, spiritual, and economic harm within the AAPI community throughout the United States and territories. Throughout this entire conversation, I'll be saying AAPI, which really all of us know mean Asian, Asian American, and Pacific Islander communities. As you all know, human trafficking is an important topic for us to discuss with regards to gender-based violence in the AAPI community. According to Polaris Project, of the 3,636 survivors that they documented, the race and ethnicity of the Asian Pacific Islander community in reportings is at 27% of their, of whom calls their hotline. And a little bit higher than that is the Latinx population. So we're second, and the Latinx population is at 34%. So also, further, second to only interaction with friends and family, interaction with law enforcement and the criminal justice system is the point of access for survivors to ask for assistance if they are a survivor of human trafficking. And that's why I'm really excited to have our guest speaker, Alia El-Sawi, who serves as the Victim Assistance Specialist for Homeland Security Investigations, HSI. Many of you serve human trafficking survivors, and that is why this conversation is so important to have with Alia as she works with law enforcement. Alia has worked on human trafficking cases for over 15 years. Her area of responsibility includes all of Georgia and Alabama, where she designs and provides educational trainings and outreach to law enforcement, attorneys, mainstream service providers, and community-based organizations on human trafficking and child exploitation. Additionally, Alia is involved in conducting victim interviews and working with immigrant victims and their immigration application certifications. She works to establish collaborative relationships locally, statewide, and nationally. Alia has also been tapped by many HSI offices all over the country to train their new victim assistance specialists. Finally, she also has traveled overseas to train foreign governments on human trafficking in Chile, Peru, Brazil, Hong Kong, Macau, Vietnam, and Budapest and Hungary. Prior to her work with Homeland Security investigations, Alia was Tapestry's anti-human trafficking program coordinator here in Georgia. Tapestry is a well-known national organization, and that is where Ali and I actually met 15 years ago when we worked together on human trafficking cases and on training with the community. So I am so happy to bring her back and have this conversation with her, with you all. And thank you, Alia, for being with us. We're going to spend about 40 minutes talking, and then we'll open it up for questions from the audience. And so, as Shirley mentioned, if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A box, and we'll make sure we get to them by around 3:45. So without further ado, Alia, thank you so much for being with us. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you came into this work.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Monica, for the wonderful introduction. I'm so happy to be here with you and with others. So a little bit of background on how I came into this work. As you mentioned, 5.5 years, where I served as the program anti-human trafficking program coordinator, and there, within that role, I provided direct service. Sorry, I think that there was a little bit of a technicality. Can y'all hear me? Okay, you can still hear me? Okay. Can you still see my video too? Okay.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties, my apologies. But I started, as I mentioned, at Tapestry, doing direct services and case management. And within that role, that's really where I got exposed to various immigrant and refugee communities. I also was involved in some of the domestic violence and sexual assault work as well, working with survivors in some of those cases. But the bulk of my background was within human trafficking. And that was a little bit of both labor and sex trafficking victims, as well as adults and juveniles. So that's where it all started.
And it was really Tapestry that opened your eyes to this work, wasn't it?
It was.
How did working with survivors, for 5 years, as you mentioned, prepare you for joining Homeland Security investigations? And what was it like coming from a community-based organization to first work there?
It was, I feel so thankful that I got to begin this work in this realm because of Tapestry. If it wasn't for my work at Tapestry and being in the trenches and providing direct services and case management, I don't think that I would have gained what I have today and within my role at HSI, at Homeland Security Investigations. It really kind of gave me that foundation. I understood a little bit more about what the victims were experiencing. I was exposed to all sorts of different types of human trafficking. So not just specifically sex trafficking, and we'll kind of talk about labor trafficking as well. And that just kind of prepared me. I felt like I was also able to take that victim-centric approach and bridge some of the gaps that a lot of NGOs may have with law enforcement, generally speaking.
Absolutely, Lee. I remember when you were first starting to work and you told us the news, And we were all super excited in the community to have an ally, to have someone who really understood what survivors, go through. And we, coming from a law enforcement background, I know the word that you all use to provide support as victims. And then in the community-based world, we use the word survivors as well, but we're talking about the same individual. And I remember when you had gotten the role, I was very excited because I knew that you could work from within, and really talk about what goes on. Is that what happened when you first started there?
So quite honestly, I did have a little bit of an internal struggle because I love the nonprofit work. I love the NGO world. I'm glad to say that that piece of me has never left me, but I did have that internal struggle of, well, now that I'm moving over to, and we would joke and say the dark side, moving over into that role with law enforcement, what does that mean for me? What does that mean for my allies, for my partners? Are they going to trust that I can continue to do the work and continue to provide the same type of level of services that I did working for Tapestry? And so I think once I overcame that hump, I was able to gain that confidence and really try to lay the groundwork within my role. It was kind of unique because I'm the first and only person within my position with HSI that covers Georgia and Alabama. And I believe, the third that was hired on nationally. And so I got to kind of build the program from within my offices that I cover. And so that was unique. And so I think with that flexibility, again, I gained that confidence. I also struggled because I didn't know how I would be perceived by my actual law enforcement agents that I would work with on a daily basis. Here I am, this person coming in from the NGO world, the nonprofit world, and I'm basically trying to teach them how to take that victim-centric approach with these cases. So,
Absolutely. And you didn't say this out loud, but also your ethnicity and your religion, your
of
own
course.
ethnicity and religion. How did that also come into play?
Sure. So at Tapestry, it was great because, everyone was welcome just based on their background, regardless of their background, their ethnicity, their religion. And again, I'm walking into a predominantly white male run agency. There's still not a whole lot of females working within the agency as a whole, and specifically within my office. So being a minority, being female, and also being someone, with Muslim faith, that I felt, okay, at what point do I just kind of push through, regardless of what stereotypes or thoughts that these agents may have about me as a person, again, a person of color, minority, and with my religious background, do I hold back, which initially I kind of did, about sharing about myself. And now I feel like I'm at the point, and have been at the point, where I can proudly talk about my background openly and not have any hesitation. And I think that that serves well in the position that I am working with the victims, especially the foreign national victims.
Absolutely. And we're going to get to that a little bit more in a second. But before I go on, I wanted to make sure that we clarify what HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, is and the role that they play in human
Sure.
trafficking investigations. Can you tell us a little bit?
Of course. So, Homeland Security Investigations, we are the investigative arm of DHS, Department of Homeland Security. And currently we have 30 different offices nationwide. So, each of those offices covers one or more states, depending on the size of the state. And we have smaller offices within each of the states. And we cover or investigate just about every type of investigation that you would think another federal agency like the FBI would cover. The difference is that we have that immigration component. So we do fall under Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which can, and we'll get into that, it can be a detriment when I stay clear from saying ICE or Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And even as an agency, HSI has tried to break away from that. But it's a lot to do with the perception and in working in this field and with the victims, because it has that negative, unfortunately, that negative reputation when working with this population. So HSI, the group that I fall under is the human trafficking as well as child exploitation. So those are the main victim-based groups that work these types of investigations. We also have some victims that may fall under financial crime, but we have a whole, we have a lot of other groups that investigate like counterterrorism, counterproliferation, gangs, drugs. So all the basic crimes that fall under the federal government.
How many cases, Alia, have you worked on as a victim witness specialist? Human trafficking.
Human trafficking, how many cases? Monica, I can't even tell you. And I couldn't even tell you how many victims I've worked with. Hundreds, if not, I'm probably in the thousands at this point. Been doing it for 17 years now, so quite some time. And that's not even counting my time at Tapestry. So we could fairly say hundreds of cases, both sex and labor.
Yeah, and so you clearly have great experience in working, with these cases and in working with survivors, and you've been in two different but related roles, first at Tapestry and now HSI. Based on that experience, why is it important for community advocates and HSI offices to work collaboratively? And what are some ways that you've worked to deepen the relationship? Because I know when we worked together, we would work on cases, just as hard together. We needed to, but also there were points where we didn't, and that was okay too. But why is collaboration important?
I think collaboration is very important because I think we have, the same end goal, which is to try to get the victims at a point where they are feeling confident in reporting their case and the history of their victimization, trying to stabilize them and trying to get them the resources and assistance that they need. And then for us, we have the addition of trying to get the trafficker or traffickers in jail and prosecuted for the crimes they've committed. But that can't be done without partnerships. Realistically, we could not do our job as a federal investigative agency without the help and of our partners. Our partners are our eyes and ears on the ground. A lot of times I will hear from advocates that will, give me a call or will email me and say, hey, I thought this might be important for your investigation. The survivor that I'm working with has mentioned that it's okay for me to come to you with this, and it's a piece of the investigation that's pertinent, and that's great. That's helpful. That helps us, further our investigation, and vice versa. There are going to be points in time where, we have to have that open communication with our partners and let them know, hey, this is something that may be a safety issue. This is something that you need to be, on the lookout for. And so really having that open dialogue. I also think that from both sides, it's healthy to establish boundaries. I understand, having worked in the NGO world, that there are going to be boundaries that the advocates will set. And so part of my job and my role is to help relay that to the agents so that they can respect that and have a better understanding as to why. And then vice versa. There are going to be points in time where the agents or the prosecutors will say, we can't give that information to the advocate or to the NGO that's working on the case with us. And so I am tasked with basically being the liaison and sharing why that is. So basically, I feel like a lot of times I'm the in-between that's explaining the roles as to why we can and can't do things, and trying to also be that voice for our partners within the NGO world.
And Aaliyah, working with you for all these years, you do it well, because I know it's challenging, but you've always done it with authenticity, even on cases that were challenging and difficult that we've worked on together. And you've, as you've mentioned, worked on 1,000 cases, even more. What types of cases do you see in the AAPI community?
So, as you've mentioned, there have been a number of cases based on the stats that you shared from Polaris. And my office, my offices within Georgia and Alabama, and even in the Carolinas, when I covered the Carolinas, we definitely have had a number of cases that have affected the AAPI communities. And that's inclusive of both sex and labor trafficking. And if you would like, I can certainly highlight, an example of a case that that we worked on, and I've got several examples, and some that may even sound familiar to you, Monica, since you assisted tremendously with some of these cases.
Please share. We'd love to hear.
Okay, so I'll start by sharing a labor trafficking case because I feel like that is when we talk about human trafficking, there seems to be a little bit more of a focus on sex trafficking, and the reality is labor trafficking is just as egregious and is just as rampant. It's just a matter of discovering those cases. This was a couple from India, and the case was brought to our attention. It was from a tip that we had received. We get our referrals from various means, and this one, I believe, originated from local law enforcement, and the couple worked at a convenience store. They came to the US with the understanding that they would be working at this convenience store. And they started off in the middle Georgia area. And there were promises that were made along the way. Part of how they got here was fairly interesting because they actually had a very long, tiresome journey to get here. They actually flew into South America and ended up getting smuggled in through the Mexican border, simply because that was considered the easiest method and at the time. And so they did just that. They also, they currently have 2 young kids, but they also had a young little boy as well, traveling alongside with them. And during the time at the their work at the convenience store, the traffickers at the time were actually also from India as well. And I think that that's something that's important to note, that oftentimes we see that people that are exploited from one country, their exploiters may actually be from that very same country. Not always the case, but we see that often. And in this particular case, that was happening. And immediately when they got here, their immigration status was something that was just on their radar because they were considered undocumented. They had been smuggled in through the border. One of the promises that was made by their employer initially was that they would assist them with that. That wasn't in fact the case. They never sought any type of immigration assistance. And then they were working long, hard hours with no breaks. Imagine, someone that immigrated to this country having, some, I mean, they spoke English, but there's still some of those linguistic barriers with, day-to-day, references that us Americans may make that that other foreign nationals may not get. So they had that. They were also made to sleep, not only work at the convenience stores, but they were made to sleep there, eat there. There were days where they actually went without food. They ended up not getting paid at all. Their immigration status is what was truly held over their head. And also their child was one thing. We later discovered that there were even threats of calling DFACS, which for us here in Georgia is under Child Protective Services. And so that was something that created a whole other level of fear for them. So now you have their immigration status, their child as well. And so they were also apparently receiving threats towards their family members back home. Their family, I recall, was made to sell their home at one point. They were made to sell different things, and it was because they kept having to try to provide money to get this couple out of their situation. It thankfully ended in with a happy story in that we were able to pursue a federal investigation. The victims were able to gain the resources that were needed, had housing assistance, all types of holistic care that was needed. And then obviously the immigration component, which at the time, Georgia Asylum and Immigration Network was able to pursue a T visa for this couple, and eventually for a derivative for their son as well. I'm happy to report that I'm still in touch with the couple. They're doing very well. They've actually now they had become lawful permanent residents and are actually on the path to citizenship. So that's a perfect example of a labor trafficking case where you had document servitude, you had the fear of their immigration status. There was some physical, verbal, and emotional abuse that was involved there as well. You had the long working hours and the lack of freedom of movement or lack of freedom to quit. So that's just one example.
Thank you, Alia, for that. And are there other industries where you see labor trafficking in the AAPI community? Because definitely what you suggested is absolutely one of them.
Yes. So I always say, especially with labor, just about any venue is the potential for people to be exploited, right? But specifically within the AAPI community, it's been within the restaurant industry. I've seen that. We actually had a call about 2 months ago where it was an elderly woman from Pakistan, and she was in her 70s. So she was working at a restaurant that was also run by Pakistanis. So restaurants, we've had some at hotels. We've had manual labor as well. The convenience store. We've had domestic servitude, which is, I've had quite a few of those cases as well. So those are just a few examples. I'm sure there have been more off the top of my head within labor trafficking. Within sex trafficking, we've had some within the Asian-based massage spas, which we can kind of chat about in a few minutes. And then we've had some that had resembled and had some overlap with domestic violence, where it was like a servile marriage type of situation. So we have had those types of cases as well.
Yeah. If you wouldn't mind, could you elaborate a little bit on both those, the servile marriage, potential case that you had or case that you had, and then also the massage industry one, because I know that comes up as a stereotype a lot in our community.
Sure.
And
yes.
not to feed into that stereotype, that everyone who works in a massage agency is trafficked, but just to really maybe highlight, a little bit about what you saw. Because again, I don't want to feed into any stereotypes, but just, naming a little bit, but definitely the servile marriage one as well.
Sure. So with that one that sticks out to me was actually one of my first servile marriage cases. It was a young lady that this one actually happened to be from Pakistan as well. And she had met an American man, and he basically was talking to her outside of her parents knowing and her family knowing. At the time, it was considered completely taboo for her to be speaking to a man that she had just met, that her family was not familiar with, that was there visiting. And so he ended up, they exchanged information, they continued to talk, and at one point in time, her parents were, or her father and her uncle in particular, were trying to push her to marry someone that was much older than her, that she had no interest in. And so at one point in time, she had run away from home. And that brought her so much, so many problems, because when her father and her uncle found her, they reprimanded her, told her all about how much shame that she had brought to the family. And so that, again, created all sorts of issues and problems. So then she had this, she had shared this information with this American man, and he told
Alia,
her,
sorry, when you say American man, do you mean Caucasian man or?
It was actually, yes, a Caucasian man. I'm sorry.
No, that's
yes.
okay.
Thank you for, I needed to clarify that. Yes, a Caucasian man that had traveled there. I don't recall what his initial reason for travel was, but as I mentioned, they maintained contact, and then he was trying to coach her and tell her that that's not how life should be, and that he was romantically interested in her, that they should get married, and wanted to pursue a fiance visa and bring her to the United States. And so that eventually ended up happening. But this man ended up having completely different intentions. And once she did end up running away and escaping, because he helped her facilitate all that, he ended up treating her like an animal. Not only was there an abundant amount of domestic abuse, physical, verbal, and emotional abuse, there was also, she was being sexually assaulted by him. And then he ended up taking it even further, and would lock her in a room, and would end up having neighbors and his friends come and engage in sex with her. And he was charging these people to have sex with her. She was a virgin at the time. She was in a situation where she felt like she could not go back home, because what would happen then? I mean, she had already suffered after running away at one point in time, and now here she is in a worse predicament, and was essentially felt like she was stuck at the time. And so he was making her, cook, clean, do all sorts of domestic work, in addition to the sexual assaults that were happening, or I guess you could call it commercial sex, where he was profiting and making money off of her. Never ended up finally, pursuing the fiance visa to its completion. So she at one point was also out of status. And so we had to get the help of immigration attorneys at the time to assist with that particular case. I believe Catholic Charities may have helped at the time.
So Ali, I think we could hear you, but you may be frozen. Just wanted to let you know, but we could hear you.
Okay.
You had mentioned sexual assault and human trafficking, and this is Sexual Assault Month. And so I wanted to get your, perspective on Do you see sexual assault also in human trafficking cases all the time?
So it's fair to say that if you have sex trafficking, it is going to be sexual assault in nature. I mean, you have these women or young girls that are being forced into a situation against their will. So by definition, it is sexual assault. And so there is huge overlap with that. Not only that, but and I think you can agree, Monica, with a lot of the survivors that I've worked with, that we've worked with in the past, may have either before their
Oh,
sexual abuse of some sort, or have even, can you hear me?
I could hear you. Yes.
Okay, you can
Yeah, I think we
hear
lost
me. Okay.
audio for a
I
second.
was just, oh, I'm sorry. I
That's
was
okay.
just saying that there certainly is overlap between the two. Anytime you have sex trafficking, you're going to have sexual assault because you have victims or survivors that were forced into a sexual situation against their will. So we
Absolutely.
have
And do
also
you,
had, and I think
yeah,
you
do
could
you,
agree,
mhm,
situations where the victims may have been traumatized before and had, a history of sexual assault or sexual abuse in some form, or unfortunately vice versa, where they come out of their trafficking situation and end up not healing and end up being vulnerable and falling prey to another type of victimization, such as sexual assault or domestic violence, and enter unhealthy relationships.
that's absolutely right. We've definitely seen that. And also I've seen and worked with survivors of sexual assault in domestic labor trafficking situations. That's what I meant to say,
Yes.
in labor trafficking situations. Have you seen that as well?
I have. Unfortunately, we've had some domestic servitude cases where, the husband or male of the household has taken advantage of the domestic servant. So not only, are they forced to work in the household, but they're also being sexually assaulted by the man, living within the household. So certainly in cases like that, yes.
And so I see we have a few questions in the Q&A and we'll get to those. But before we do, I wanted to ask one question. And, it's an important one because you are with HSI, Homeland Security Investigations. And as I mentioned at the top of our conversation, that the second most way for human trafficking survivors to come out of their situation has been due to law enforcement intervention. Uh, what ways does HSI help? Because I know so many folks right now are afraid of systems, are, not wanting to work with law enforcement, and for legitimate reasons. A lot of advocates on the ground are, speaking with survivors or maybe come in contact with survivors in different ways. What do you say to that?
I would say so with these particular cases, you have different agencies, investigative agencies that work these cases. So not only HSI, but FBI, you may have Department of Labor, but HSI is a little bit more specialized in the fact that we do have that experience in working with foreign nationals. And so my suggestion would be to find out who the victim assistance specialist is that covers your area. There's one that covers, we have my counterparts nationally that cover your area. And so taking that route is your best bet, because then they will take the same victim centric approach that I've been talking about, and will then take the information. They'll work with you and work and make sure to get it to the appropriate agent that is experienced in working these cases, that has that passion behind these types of cases, and that is hopefully just as victim centric as the victim assistance specialists themselves and the advocates.
Thank you. I know that makes sense because I do know that when I worked with survivors, going to law enforcement was not their first option.
Right.
It was probably, in some cases a deal breaker. Some folks did not want to go to law enforcement at all. And so that was, over the last 15, 20 years, I've noticed that. And even now it's even more so. Two more questions.
I would also just add.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Aaliyah.
Just real quick, Monica, I would add too. Can you still hear me?
I could hear you. Yeah, you're frozen, but I can hear you well.
Okay. So I would add that that the victim assistance specialists also know to pursue immediately with any potential victim of trafficking. It doesn't have to be someone that's willing to talk to us right away, but they know that they can start looking into pursuing a continued presence.
Yeah, continued presence status for the survivors, which is an immigration benefit
for that individual, so that they are, yes.
Sorry, I spoke over you just a little bit because of your audio. We had you go in and out for a second. I didn't mean to.
No worries.
Yeah. So we're getting close to 3:45, which is where we're going to open it up for questions. But I wanted to ask you two more quick ones. And, we have an audience that is full of direct service staff members. What is one thing that you would like for them to know?
I think one we started to kind of touch upon just a second ago, saying that I encourage you to get to know your victim assistance specialist within HSI and to build that relationship, because I promise you that you will see a vast difference in how these cases are pursued. They know the resources that are in place. They'll also be able to kind of help update you and keep you and the survivor informed of the investigation throughout the course of the investigation. And I think that it kind of gives a little bit less of that intimidative factor. So that would be one thing. And two, just trusting that if you have an undocumented survivor that you're working with within the AAPI community, know that they, just based on their status, that they will not be deported. If you hear any word of deportation for a survivor of trafficking, labor, or sex, and you're feeling like you're hitting a wall, I will even tell you to call me, and we'll get to the bottom of it and try to remedy that for you.
Thank you, Aaliyah. That is really important. Thank you for talking about that, because it is something that many of our organizations, the direct service advocates, deal with, and work on with survivors. So I'm going to just throw you, three quick fun questions. You can answer with 1 or 2 words, because you have given us 45 minutes of your time to talk about your work, but let's get to know you. So number one, what even, victim witness specialists need to take some time off? You've been doing this work for a long time. What do you do for fun?
I try to spend as much time with my family as possible. I have a little girl, Sophia, that's going to be 6 on Saturday, this Saturday. And thank you. And my youngest, Lena, she is 3.5. They're my world. And so spending time with them, with my husband. I have siblings, thankfully, that live close by, and my parents as well. So I'm very family oriented. So family and then traveling. I'm so glad that things are getting a little bit easier with traveling and COVID. As you shared, Monica, I have traveled a lot for work, but I also love to travel for pleasure as well. And then I think, we share the same passion for making accessories, jewelry. So that is something that I had to take some time off from doing for a bit because work can get overwhelming, but it's certainly something that I'd like to get back into, just because it makes me happy, and it's good. It's a good form of self-care for me to stay occupied.
Thank you for reminding us of that. Now I'm going to ask you another quick question.
Sure.
Favorite API cuisine?
Ooh, that's tough. There's so many.
You can
So I
name
always,
two.
okay, only two. Um, I'd probably say Thai, and I've been, jamming on some Korean here lately. I
Hey,
love Korean food. Yes.
thank you for that. And of all the countries that you went to work with them on human trafficking issues, which government was the most open?
Oh, the most open. I would say the Brazilian government was pretty open. I was happy to hear that because I've had uh, some cases from the Brazilian community. So Brazil was very open. Um, and when I went to Budapest, Hungary, they were as well. There were representatives from several countries that were represented there: Uzbekistan, Ukraine, a lot of the former Soviet Union countries were represented there. I think there were about 11 different countries represented there. So that was a great one as well.
Thank you for our speed round, Aaliyah. I appreciate it. And I'm going to hand it back to our Shirley to ask you a few questions. And then, of course, I'll get back on for some closing statements. Shirley?
Thank you, Monica, and thank you, Aaliyah, for your thoughtful response to all the questions that Monica asked. We do have some questions that came into the chat box, and if folks who are attending, if you have any more, just keep dropping them in there. This first one has to do with deportations and interactions with ICE. I know you did address it just not too long ago, Aaliyah, that survivors of trafficking or victims will not face deportation. Can you just maybe talk a little bit about that? Since this is a question that was asked, I just wanted to acknowledge it. But given
Sure.
that there is so much fear among communities of deportation and of ICE enforcement.
Sure. This has been something that we've actually been working with our agency at the headquarters level on. Human trafficking is one of the types of cases that our agency has prioritized, along with child exploitation, but human trafficking is up there. And so there has been a center that has been created. It's run by the Department of Homeland Security. It's called the Center to Counter Human Trafficking, CCHT. It's based out of Washington, D.C. And what they do is solely just based on trafficking, both sex and labor trafficking. And part of that is designing training for our agents for any other component of DHS, Department of Homeland Security. So it could be ERO, which is enforcement and removal operations, that falls under ICE. They're the ones that are responsible for detention and deportation. So really getting some training in there, our Customs and Border Protection, Border Patrol, getting them all trained up on how to recognize these signs, and emphasizing that if any victims come through, any potential victims, that they are not to be deported. So that is a unified response that is being kind of rolled out into our field offices all across the board. They're hammering it in their heads, and I'm grateful for that.
Thank you, Aaliyah. And I also wanted to lift up a chat comment in response to that, let me just read it. Every state has human trafficking laws, and given that they have at least one victim social services agency. So they suggest you ask about that agency at the state level or ask Polaris Project to get in touch with your victims social services agency about, if there is a victim who would be facing deportation.
Yes.
Okay, let me move on to the other questions. So are there any efforts to address the number of U and T visas available to victims and survivors, or fee waivers?
Actually, Monica, you would be great to answer that in terms. So there are fee waivers for the T and U, and I don't know if you want to elaborate on that, Monica, with your background.
I can, yes. There's definitely fee waivers for the UNT and just providing certain documentation with that, because fee waivers for humanitarian-based visas, which a UNT both are looked at probably generously, I would say, by the Vermont Service Center where they get those applications. So yes, there are fee waivers. And gosh, we have been working, even our policy director at API-GBV, Grace Wong, has been working behind the scenes for so long to increase the number of UNT visas available. The U, as you all know, is severely backlogged, by over 100,000, even close to 200,000. And so there has been a lot of efforts behind the scenes to increase these numbers. It's just been really difficult because of where the attention span has been for the policymakers in Congress on this. So we're not going to stop. We're going to keep doing this, even though we've been doing the efforts to increase for over a decade. But yeah, that definitely is happening.
But there's not a cap on the continued presence that I was talking about before. Currently, I have a labor trafficking case, and we're up to 222 victims in one case, and we're continuing to do the continued presence. So in the meantime, at least there's that type of immigration relief, so that the individual is able to receive an employment authorization document and able to continue working, and start providing for themselves and becoming a little bit more self-sufficient.
Thank you, Leah.
And this may be another Monica question, but are there any efforts to, sorry, scrolled and I lost the question. Is there more funding or resources allocated for culturally and linguistically competent victim services in order to expand capacity to support AAPI survivors of human trafficking?
Yes, actually, I am happy to say yes to a question, because lately there has been more funding directed not only through the American Rescue Plan, but also through allocations and also through a lot of years of advocacy work on culturally specific, communities made by culturally specific advocates to really, increase that. And I want to let you know that, there will be more capacity building funding available for our AAPI community in the next few months. And, we're going to be talking about that a lot more, but I just wanted to put that hope in your mind and a little bit of great news in your mind too, that there is going to be a focus on culturally specific organizations providing the care and the experience that our community needs. So yes, there is.
Monica, I realized too, one of the questions, and you had asked me, was about the Asian massage spas and the stereotypes. And I just wanted to briefly address that before we wrapped up. So we have had a number of cases where survivors have come out of the Asian based massage spas. And I just want to say that, we recognize that there are both sides. So you may have some people that are working in the spas as sex workers and are not necessarily identifying themselves as victims, but you also may have some that that do need assistance and help and have been victimized and have been exploited within the Asian massage spa businesses. I do think it's very unfair and kind of a dangerous route once people start stereotyping, just specifically, I think you would say, some of the East Asian countries like Koreans or Chinese individuals, and assume that this is a role that they've wanted to take, or that this is something that they may have been engaged in back in their home country, and so this is just part of the culture. Making those assumptions can be very dangerous, and so I just kind of wanted to note that when we do have those types of investigations within we call them APIs, APMs, the Asian AMPs, Asian massage parlors, that you have to kind of treat each individual on a case-by-case basis and not making any of those assumptions and coming in with those biases.
Thank you, Alia. And Shirley, I think we have 2 more questions, don't we? Can we fit those in?
We can try. So this next question is about bystander education. There's been initiatives to put flyers at airports and look for human trafficking victims, or flight attendants being trained to identify trafficked victims. How effective do you think these bystander initiatives are?
So here at our Atlanta Hartsfield Airport, I know for a number of years we were #1, and I think we've gotten bumped down to #2 busiest airport. We've seen that it's been pretty effective. We've got all sorts of flyers, billboards, announcements. So when you're riding on the train from one terminal to another, you can hear the announcement coming on routinely every few minutes. We also train various flight attendants, and I think it's fantastic. We have had several leads, or even cases that may not have ended up being trafficking, but it's better to call and let us know. And I think, training as many people that may be exposed to potential victims is the best route to take.
Thank you. And just really quickly, there's a little bit of a longer question remaining about if there's any sort of continued presence appeal or overview mechanism. So for instance, in a case where a husband forces his wife to work long hours for no pay and physically abuses her, and it's deemed domestic violence by HSI agents rather than human trafficking, is there any mechanism for requesting a supervisor review for that sort of thing?
I think it's going to be case by case, because if it does fall under more of domestic violence, then our headquarters that processes continued presence will likely decline it. There's got to be some element of force, fraud, or coercion there. It's sometimes actually easier to obtain VAWA, or even depending on if the person is a U.S. citizen or not, that they are in a relationship with. That's sometimes an easier route to take. There's also a lot of resources within the domestic violence community that are there for DV survivors. So it's really going to just be, being able to prove the elements of either force, fraud, or coercion so that it meets the federal threshold for trafficking. If it's a case that can't be prosecuted, is likely not to be accepted by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And if they look at it as more domestic violence rather than trafficking, then unfortunately, they're probably going to decline continued presence. But I always say just ask and see how much you can prove or have, you know, documented, and it doesn't hurt to keep trying to pursue it.
And if I could add to that, I've worked with Aaliyah before, and cases change, not change. You find out more, once you work with a survivor, and you get deeper in. And Aaliyah has always been accepting, of that as well. And so if we find out different facts, more facts, that really expound on human trafficking, be in touch with your HSI, victim witness specialist, because I really think that, they also understand that, it's evolving and change, and sorry for using the word changing. It's not changing. It's just the survivors getting more comfortable talking about, what is happening. And you're not going to get the entire, everything in the first, hour of meeting. And so it's really important to keep that conversation going.
Yes.
Just noticing that we are a little bit over time. I want to say that if there's any questions that you didn't get a chance to ask or that we didn't get a chance to address, please email me and we'll see if we can get Aaliyah to answer a couple more over email, or just get in touch with us. And then I'll pass it to Monica for some last thoughts.
Yeah, I think, if you have any, cases that you are working on and need a little bit of advice on, please feel free to reach out to us. But I really wanted to thank Aaliyah for taking the time and representing, what she's been doing, not only just at HSI Investigations, but also at Tapestry, and really talking about partnership and collaboration on these cases. We cannot fight human trafficking with just a one-pronged approach. We all really have to work together and make sure that we're serving the survivors the best way that we can. And so I just wanted to thank Aaliyah. And Aaliyah, I may be putting you on the spot, but you've always been open to this. If anyone has any questions or needs help in reaching somebody in their jurisdiction,
Yes.
since it's a national call, can we reach out to you?
Absolutely. I get it all the time, and I'm happy to do that. So I'd rather you try to reach out and hopefully me help navigate and direct you as to who in your area could be helpful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you to all for attending and being part of this and being part of our first Fireside Chat. We hope to have more to come. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Aaliyah. And
thank you, Monica and team.
Thank you to Brittany and the team.